Hi, I'm Michael Kiwanuka, and this is my soundtrack. Yeah, the song that really reminds me of growing up is Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, off Californication. I remember it because it was obviously a massive album when I was in school, and I just started playing guitar, and I was just starting to start little bands and stuff. And I remember everyone that played guitar kind of was trying to learn the riff of that song. And if you could play Californication, you could kind of get into a band, because it was quite hard. It had some hammer-ons and stuff. So and I remember being in people's garages and covering that song. So, and I listened to that album a lot, growing up. So it reminds me of growing up that album. A song that reminds me of touring or being on the road is Dusty Springfield, Son of a Preacher Man. I was on tour. It was the first tour I ever did. I was 23, I think. Yeah, and I was lucky enough 2011. I was lucky enough to support Adele and around Europe, and we had little. I think it was like a Zafira or something, like a Vauxhall Estate or Ford Estate, a Galaxy, I think maybe like a Ford Galaxy, and I was touring with my friend Pete, who's a bass player, and my tour manager at the time, Gary, and we just used to always put that album on, and Son of the Preacher Man was our favourite. We just knew it note for note, everything, all the drum licks and the bass licks and stuff like that. And we listened to it probably every journey. It was quite long drives around Europe. So every time that song comes on now, it reminds me of being on tour. The song that I'm proudest of, well, you like as a songwriter, you're biased, you like all your songs even if they're rubbish, but the one that I'm probably proudest of is I'm Getting Ready off the first album, just because it's the only song really I've had to play it a lot and I never got bored of singing that one. I always enjoy singing that one, so I think if anyone was to get me to sing a song on an acoustic and then never heard my music or whatever, they'll play me something, I'll probably play that song. So I'm going to pick I'm Getting Ready. The song with the greatest lyrics ever. There's so many songs with incredible lyrics, and it was hard to pick one, but personally for me, I really like the lyrics on Move On Up by Curtis Mayfield. And they're just so positive, Every time I listen to that song, I really, really just feel like I can conquer the world. And one of my favourites is, remember your dream is your only scheme, so keep on wishing. I thought that was a nice line. And he's just like the soul Bob Dylan. His lyrics are so poetic and so meaningful. So I'll pick Move On Up by Curtis Mayfield. A song that I wish I wrote is Only Love Can Break Your Heart by Neil Young. I don't know, I just love, it's so simple, but the message is so true, it's profound truths. I always think good art is basically just profound truths. So it's and profound truths are generally quite simple things to understand, 1 out of 1 is 2, And but it's so simple, but it's so difficult to really come out with something like that and say it so simply that everyone can understand. That line, Only Love Can Break Your Heart, is such a cool way of describing it, because nothing else can, And love's generally associated with good things, when you're in love, you're in love, that's great. And the way he's saying it, kind of you're in love, so be careful, It can break your heart, it can destroy you. So, but the melody's so beautiful, the chords are so nice. It's just for me a perfect song. So yeah, I wish Neil Young, Only Love Can Break Your Heart. A song that I play air guitar to is Rebel Rebel by David Bowie. I just think that guitar riff's one of the best guitar riffs ever written. And yeah, every time that's on, it's like a morning song. I can put that song on, play air guitar to Rebel Rebel. The song I want to play at my funeral probably have to be All Things Must Pass, George Harrison, just because it's I mean, I love the song and it's inspired me, but the song's obviously about passing away, so I feel like when I listen to that, it makes me feel like it, that it's okay. It's a sad part of life, but it is a part of life, so I'd like to leave that. And I love George Harrison, man, so that'd be pretty cool. The song you wouldn't expect to see on my iPhone or iPod or stuff like that is Instant Crush by Daft Punk, who are featuring Julian Casablancas. I love that song, and I love the melody, like the sound, the lyrics and stuff. I just love it. I'm kind of jealous of that song, but I don't think anyone would really associate Daft Punk or even the Strokes like with me. So I'd say that would probably surprise quite a few people.